Hi friends, we have finished the introduction part or the part A. Now we are moving to part B. Here we'll learn how to import and export data from a data frame. We'll use different formats to import, and similarly from the data frame we'll export to different formats. Here you can see that we have different formats here available. In the left side you can see that all these CSV, Excel, clipboard, HTML, JSON, from all these formats we can create a data frame. So we can bring data from here, we call it import, and from the data frame we can take it out or export the data to any of these formats: CSV, Excel, clipboard, HTML, JSON and all. It is not necessary that if you read from Excel we can't transfer it to SQL. We can read from Excel, then we can create the data frame and again export it to HTML, JSON or CSV or any other format we want. These are more or less standard formats whatever is available. Few more are also there and Pandas DataFrame support them also. We'll start from our Visual Studio Code, and this time we are starting, but again we'll shift to our Colab Platform, so there also we'll use. So import Pandas as PD, the first line. Now I am creating my data frame. My df is equal to PD, then read Excel. Now first I have to give you is the path. So it is in my C drive. In your case it may be in a different location. So based on your location, change it. Student XLSX. So this is my data, my path here. So in your case, where you have kept your Excel file, accordingly you do that. Now already we know to display the first 5 sample or anything. So we'll say print df.head. By default 5 rows of data will come up. Now let me save this and running it. Here it is. So you can see here that my first 5 rows taken from the Excel file and displayed it as a data frame. Before we move to Colab, just see this Excel file. This is our student Excel file. The first is ID, name, class, mark and gender. This is the first row. Then the data comes and there are 35 rows of data. Now I am in my Colab platform. You can use this, just you need a Gmail ID to work on your Colab, and we have already discussed about this platform. Now here you can first click this and land in the read Excel page here in Student, and here you can see the entire source code and it is explained again also. So here you can, let's just first mount our, upload our file. This is for the session basis. So I am going here. Click this one, then I will just upload the, here I will say upload the session storage. This is a session storage, it will work on this session only. So let me just go to C data, and this is where is my, which is my Excel file. Yeah, it's not CSV, this is my workbook. So I have opened this. Now you see the warning, ensure that if I have saved elsewhere, this runtime file will be deleted once the runtime is terminated. So that is the care I have to take. If I don't want that, then I have to mount the drive. That we have already discussed also, that how to mount a drive permanently. So let me click OK. Now my student file is here. So this student data is available. Now let me just start the adding a code block. So here I will read it, import Pandas as PD, then df equal to, now read, sorry, this is PD dot read Excel. Now here is my student dot XLSX. So I'll put it within the quotes. Fine. Now data frame is ready. Now what I will do, I will print my df, let's say tell. Last time there we have gone for head, so data frame tell here. Now let's just run it. First time it will take bit time. Fine, it's given me the tell. It has taken from this student data table and displayed me the data frame. Let me close this. So fully away. Okay, now what happens, you can see the Excel page will have different sheets on it. worksheet 1, worksheet 2. So in this case, we can specify, say if I have multiple worksheet, here in this particular file there is one more, student 2 is also there. So for that, I will specify here one option is, I will say that sheet name, sheet underscore name. Here I can tell him that 0. 0 means the first default sheet or the first one. So I can give it in this way. So let me just run it, but this time let me change it to head. Okay, so let's run this. So 0, I have specified the worksheet. Now let me say, actually in this I have another worksheet which has 10 records. So this time I am giving a name as 0 because it is 0 index. I can tell, I will say student 2, that is the worksheet is student 2 and it has 10 records only. So I am going for tell. So from the end it will come up. So let's just run this. Yeah, you can see here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So different records are there. So this many only are there. So this is a different worksheet. So this is how sheet name can be used. Now let me just remove this. So let it come to its default one. So let's run it once again and see. Yeah, you can see there is a index number is there. I can say that don't use your own index, use my ID is also there. So use that as the index. So what I can specify is index column. Now index column is, I know it is ID. So I am saying that, so you can see this not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 5 are there and this index is there. So this will not be there now. Let's run this and see. You can see the ID column has taken the job of index. Now instead of tell, let me just go for head. So when I am running the head, fine. You can see the ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the index. I have just distributed it. So once you download it, all the code will be there available. So, and all the link for the downloading is after this, we are putting it in a zip file and it is available for you to download the entire worksheet so you can work easily. And the previous one, the introduction part is already there. You can download it. The link is given at the bottom and all the pages that is available. So let's just understand header. What I am going to do is copy this. Sorry, I'll copy, pasting it here. Now index column, okay, I can keep it here. Now I'll say header. Note that the header is the first row is the header or that is the 0th row. By default header is 0. So we'll get the same value. Header equal to 0 is by default value. So we'll get the same output. There is no change in that. You can see the header is there. Now I'll say that don't use the first one. Use the, 0th one, the first one. So the top row is skipped. So let's just see which one is the header now. Sorry, I missed index ID invalid. Okay, here I will remove this. I have to. Okay, fine. Now let's go this, run, say this. Now there is no header at the top. So it started from this first row. This one is taken as header because the first row is taken. I can say don't use anything also. I can say none. No header. Now what happens? It's not 1. So first one will not be treated. What has happened is it is added 0, 1, 2, 3 and the first row which we have usually used as a header, that is taken as a one of the row. Say I want to use my own headers. I'll just copy this and put it here. Now I'll remove this output. Fine. Now here you just see this is a list I have created. This list I want to use as my own header list. What I am going to do is I will just copy this code df. Now put it after this. Here it is. So what happened when I am creating the data frame, I am telling header is don't use, but I'll give another option telling that names. What are the names you should use? Names means my own header, my list. So now I am saying don't use your headers, don't use and use my list. This is the one you will be using. So let's just run this. Yeah, you can see now this ID name and this is taken as data. So one row as it is taken and my own header list is used. So this is the way. Now let's just try that we have used all the columns here, whatever thing. I can specify that don't use all the columns, use some 2-3 columns, whatever I am saying. So for that, let me just again close this, come here, add one code block. Now here again I am creating data frame equal to pd.readExcel. Now here student.xlsx. Now that's all, but here I am saying that use calls, columns you use, don't use the entire. I can give a list also. So here I will say I am giving a list, use id, then use the name column. These two only you use to create the data frame. Don't use the mark, class, gender, all those you not required. So let's print df.head. Let us run this and see. Here it is. You can see only ID and name are used. I can say, I will add one more. Say mark. Fine. Let's run this. Mark column is added. Instead of giving column names, I can give numbers also. 0 index. So 0, let me say 1 and let me say 3. So like this also. Let's run this. You will get a output. Okay, let's close this. Now again I will copy this. One thing you must have noticed that let me start the code here, pasting it here. Okay, this I will remove. Let's go for all the columns. Fine, it is here. Now instead of that, I will use one command previously we have studied, info, which gives us all the data types of the all the columns. So we'll say info. Read this now. What's this? What the output I am getting? It says that ID is int 64, name, class. This mark is also int 64, gender is the object. So all these string types are taken as object. Now I want specifically tell that treat mark as a float. Don't use it as a int 64 or integer. So for that, what I will say here, or rather use column. Okay, fine. So dtype is equal to, now here it is a dictionary. I am specifying, sorry, now I am specifying which column it is, mark. The mark column, use it as float. So now you see, you check here, mark column is int 64. Now I am running it again. The mark is float 64 because I have changed the dtype here. So this is how we can change it. Now let's just one interesting function we'll learn. So here I can change the values while creating the data frame. I can change the value also. Whatever the original value is, let it be as it is. But while creating, I will change it. So let me just again copy this. Where it is code, let me paste it. Fine. This is my dtype. Let me remove it. Okay. Now what I am doing is converters. So I can apply these converters. We'll see how I can apply these converters to, let's say that all the mark values, whatever is there, increase it. It's a function I am applying to all the elements. So converter, I am saying that you increase it by 10 or 5 something. So what I am going to do is I am applying a standard. Here again it's a dictionary. So I am applying to mark column. What I am going to do is the function is, I have to write it here, lambda. Anyway, lambda, you know, I can write a one-liner function using this. It's just a function. X means all the values you consider. Make it x plus 10. If you would have remembered what was the output earlier, let's do one thing. Run this and see mark column is coming here. Okay, remember 75, 85, 55, like this the mark column is there. So now what I am doing is convert converters equal to, I missed. Fine. So now let's run this and see. Sorry, not info. I want header. Head. So first 5. Saving and running it again. What's the output? You can see here it is, previously it was 75 became 85, 85 became 95. So every element we have added 10 marks to it. Now here is a it is not that you can apply only mathematical formulas to that. You can even increase the say in the string also you can. So say before all these names we want to add that two things we want to happen. So we want to add the Mr. before this and same time increase this value by 10 also. Two things. So how I will do that? So I will create this, because this is just see it's a dictionary here. So I will create a dictionary first because it will be too lengthy to accommodate here. I am creating a dictionary. I am saying that my dict is a dictionary I am creating. Putting the first mark. What mark I should do is I am saying lambda. Now x plus say this time 2 will not go more for more. So and then what I am saying, another element here name column I am going, and here I am saying name lambda. Now x, all the all the elements you take it, add. Now here Mr. I am giving a space plus x. That means to all the elements add a Mr. before the name. So that is the dictionary. Now what I will do, let me just copy this again, come back here, paste it. But this time in the converter, instead of writing it here, I will say my dicts. Fine. So what this dict is, this is nothing but this value. So this is what I have dictionary I have created. Now let's just run this. You can see everywhere the string Mr. is added and mark is increased by 2. And the same concept I can use it also for various other applications, like say other columns also I can change it, apply different functions here, and we'll see when you develop the applications we'll use frequently this one. While creating the data frame, we can say that skip some rows or don't use these rows. So for that, let me just take it again. Now one more code block here, moving up, pasting it. This I will close. So here I am saying skip rows. Now I am specifying skip 2 and 3, second and third rows, second and third row. So then head, you just see when you are printing the head, you can see here 1, 4, 5, 6, because ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, because I told second and third row remove it. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 it has come up. In fact, I can say you skip the 6 rows. So what I will say, remove this list, 6 rows skip. Now what happens? See the header. Here started from here 7, and you see the top one, the header also is gone. Okay, so this is how I can skip the number of rows from the top I am going, or at any location I can specify. Now one more, even I can apply a function to this. Now here I am giving a developing a application where I am saying that only print the only don't use the even number of rows, use the odd number of rows only. So let me just copy this, close, come back here, add one more code block. Yeah. So here in the skip rows, I am saying that I have to write a function for that. Lambda again, lambda x means it's each row one by one you take it, then true. This is just a if else function only. So I am writing it, if x modulus means divide by 2 equal to, because it's a if combination, so I am saying if it is 0, that means it's a even number, else false. Now what I am saying is that don't use the even number, use the odd numbers only. So let's just run this and see. You can see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11, like that it goes. So it is not picking up all the numbers based on that. Now I can just reverse it also. The logic, what I will do, I will use a not here. Fine, now let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like that it has gone. While creating the data frame also, we can tell how many rows to be used. So for that, again, I'll copy this, come here, create the code, paste it, close this one. Now all this skip rows, everything I am removing. Now what I am going to see is I am telling only use 2 rows and create the data frame. So that's all. Let's just see this, because the head is by default it should return me 5 records, because I am only using 2. So fine, it has to give 2 records only. Now one more thing. So let's come here, paste it here. Now here I will say skip footer. From the bottom also you skip how many rows. So that way I will say skip footer. So from the bottom, suppose in your Excel file some information is there which is not in a tabular, say some footer informations are there. You don't want that to come in a data frame. So that there you can use this skip footer. Say I am saying 33 record, because it is 35. So I want to just to verify the head one, I am just removing 33. So 2 should be there. So for that, and it is from the bottom. So I am skip footer I am using. Here it is. So 2 are only available. Now this is like that you can skip. Suppose at the top of the Excel page some text is there. Here some headings, class name, college name, school name, some things text is there. You want to skip that. You can use start from here, skip rows you can use, then skip footer you can use. Like that you can exactly from the what the rows are required, that you can pick up. That's all friends. We have discussed about the reading Excel file, and there are all the options. A few more are left also, and these are frequently used options. So you can use that while importing data from the Excel file. And on the other options like date and all, what are there, we will learn it while working on the dates and time series. And I'll request you, please try to answer these 10 questions here at the end of this page. The URL is at the description. So try that. That will help you in learning more. And I will request you, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon, so you will be notified as and when we add new tutorials. We frequently do that also. And please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.